In the opening round in Guntersville, we were all guests at Corey Peabody's party.
Corey Peabody! Nobody has solved this puzzle yet this weekend.
Momentum's on our side, but there's still other boats out there. They're super fast.
The only thing that could spoil it was Andrew Tate rolling over in the final. Now we're in Madison, Indiana, where the drivers are hoping to take home the highly coveted Governor's Cup at this year's Madison Regatta. The slate is clean and the teams are ready to try to tame the rough Ohio River. And it all starts now. Hi everybody and welcome to Madison, Indiana, where the H1 Unlimited Hydros are in town for this year's Madison Regatta. I'm Ralph Shaheen and this is some really exciting stuff. This event has been held every year since 1951, and some of the most iconic moments in the sport's history happen right here between the shores of the Ohio River. It is also the home race of the Miss Madison racing team. Named after the town, the team has been in operation since 1961 and hopes to continue its long tradition of winning. But they're down a competitor this weekend as the U91 of Andrew Tate will not compete. The team was unable to make the repairs necessary to get the boat back onto the water after the quick turnaround from Guntersville just a weekend ago. More on that in a moment, but first, for more on this year's event, let's bring in another member of our crew. Here's Erica Allreed.
It's time to kick off some racing for the 73rd annual Madison Regatta. Round 1 in Guntersville lived up to all the hype, and I have no doubt that round 2 here this weekend will do just the same. Of our current Unlimited field, Jamie Nielsen was the only driver to capture a podium finish here in 2022. It'll be interesting to see if that can give him the edge and advantage he needs here this weekend, or if another driver will answer the call. Perhaps Corey Peabody as he comes off a successful opening round in Guntersville. Regardless, I'm excited to see how everything shakes out and which driver can navigate their way to the top.
Are you new to hydroplane racing, or maybe you're just looking for a quick refresher on the rules? Either way, let's get you up to speed with a little Hydro 101. Each event is broken down into 3 sessions: qualifying, preliminary heats, and the final. For qualifying, a driver's best lap in a 3-lap run determines their qualifying speed. The preliminary heats are 3 laps and the final is 5 laps long. Points are awarded after each session and accumulate throughout the season to determine the national high point champion. The winner of the final is the winner of that event. Got it so far? Good. Now let's talk about the racing in the heats and the final. At 5 minutes before the start, the boats can leave the dock and head to the course. And that's when the action really begins. During this period, and a penalty is enforced for breaking the rules. The goal is to be as close to the starting line as possible when the 5-minute clock hits 0. But if you get there too soon, you'll receive a 1-lap penalty. As the clock hits 0, the race is on, and the laps start to count down. From there, it's up to the drivers to brave the waves to determine which one comes out on top and brings home the win. That's a little Hydro 101. For more info on the H1 Unlimited Hydroplane series, check out their website. It's amazing. In the opening round in Guntersville, the final was cut short when the U91 of Andrew Tate rolled over entering the first turn. The trail boat, the U40 of Dustin Eccles, then ran over the flipped-over Hydro when he arrived on the scene with basically no visibility before finding the U91 Miss Goodman real estate ride with the bottom side of the bucket list entry. Extensive damage was done to both of the boats involved, but thankfully, both drivers would walk away unscathed. The Miss Madison team worked hard, but was just unable to repair the U91 in time to compete. Erica caught up with Andrew for an update.
U91 Miss Goodman real estate driver Andrew Tate. Andrew, in our previous round in Guntersville, Alabama, you were involved in a pretty serious incident in the final heat because not only did you flip upside down, but you were also struck in the back by another driver behind you. Take me through that moment and what you believe went wrong.
I was a second late for the start, and getting down to the first turn, things kind of tightened up on me. So we ended up kind of riding up someone's rooster tail, and up and over she went. A little bit of a ride that I wasn't entirely in control of, but unfortunately the trailer boat, the U40, caught us there a couple seconds later, got lost in the spray and ran over the boat, so that's kind of where the majority of the damage was done.
So now, unfortunately, given that we had such a tight turnaround time in between rounds, your boat wasn't able to be ready and prepped for this race. So what's this next month of preparation going to look like for you and your team as you piece this thing back together?
The guys back in Seattle and here in Madison are going to have a long couple of weeks to get it put back together. But, you know, Miss Madison Racing and Goodman Real Estate team has a super experienced team, and fortunately they know what they're doing. So we got a couple weeks. We'll be ready to go.
And we sure hope so. Best of luck to the Miss Madison Racing team in getting the U-91 repaired and ready for the next round in Tri-Cities. The other boat in the wreck, the U-40 of Dustin Eccles, also faced a huge uphill battle to get their ride ready for the regatta. Here's Erica with more.
Unfortunately, you were involved in an incident in Gunnersville where your boat needed some repairs and damage. What went into that effort, given you guys only had less than a week to get the repairs all done?
We had to open up the boat, we had to get everything dry, and then we had to assess everything. It was pretty bad, but you know, we worked for about 4 days straight getting the thing fixed. We had a lot of help from local people, and most of it took place outside in our hotel parking lot, but we got it turned around.
Well, Dustin, we're happy to hear that all the repairs were able to be made, and we look forward to seeing you back out on the water.
Thank you very much.
Now let's take a look at the current national high point standings as they enter Madison. Since there was no final in Guntersville, last week's winner was determined by points scored at the event up to the moment, giving Corey Peabody his second straight win in Guntersville. Points are awarded after each session, qualifying heats and the final, based on the driver's finishing position. Each driver's points accumulate throughout the season, and the champion will be crowned at the final event, which is Seafair in Seattle.
Guntersville, I think a lot of us referred to that as a big super speedway, and this here at Madison, you encounter the tightest corners that we'll see all year.
Madison and Guntersville are about 180 degrees from each other from course setup perspective, so much tighter course here, much longer course.
You know, basically 2.5 mile course for both of them. Guntersville, monster turns. Madison, long straightaways.
Guntersville was the biggest race course I've ever ran on. Wide turns, and the straightaways weren't that fast. Here we're running well over 190 in the chutes and the tightest turns on the circuit, so it's a big difference.
Key here is to be the first one across the start-finish line, and your first one entering the turn down there, so you can get through it clean. That's the key here.
Seeing a lot of top-end speed with very low exit speed off the corners. So just for reference, our turns in Guntersville are about 2,083 feet. We're down to about 650 feet here in Madison.
As you can see, the river behind me is not very wide. So obviously to get 4 or 5 boats around this race course, we're gonna have to be turning pretty tight.
Madison's definitely a challenging course, a driver's course, and it's got turns that will eat you up.
This course here is very challenging, very violent, and you got to survive the course here.
Much more challenging course, much more of a driver's course, and I have to say much more of a fun course.
Should be an exciting race. This river and this race course usually always provides some kind of drama and excitement, so excited to get this U11 Legend Yacht Transport out there and see if we can put it out front.
Before the drivers hit the water, we're going to take a look at a team who is trying to make their own return to action after 2 devastating crashes that put the boat and the team out of competition. The story of the U-27 Wiggins Racing is next. It takes a ton of effort to get these hydros in the water and race ready, and nobody understands that more than Charlie Wiggins. His family operation is looking to return to competition after suffering some unfortunate setbacks. Look out for the comeback of the U-27.
My father started racing outboards when he was, I think, about 16 or maybe even 15, and raced for quite a long time, eventually got into inboards, and when I was 14, he got me started. So my entire life's been around race boats, and something he and I did together for quite some time. So it's been both a family affair and just a passion of mine my entire life.
Charlie, you're moving into the big boat. The Madison team has appointed you the driver of Miss Madison, a boat with a lot of history. Got to be a pretty exciting day for you.
Yeah, it's real exciting. You know, just a dream come true from a little kid, driving those smaller boats and coming up through the ranks, and just always wanted to get here, and finally a dream come true. From the time I was 14 until I think 2000, I was driving various classes. Eventually got to ride a ride in the Miss Madison in 2000, but got hurt in the boat, and then crashed our Unlimited Light a few weeks later in Detroit. And at that point, just said I needed to step away from driving for a while. But I love the sport, and kind of found, you know, my place in the sport now, and you know, building, doing the composites, and so forth. And so, you know, I do miss driving, but this is probably the next best thing. This project behind us here has been our you know, focus for quite some time, and it just sucks every hour that you can possibly carve away to spend on it. We salvaged the cockpit and built everything else from scratch here in the shop. You know, now we have a couple of full-time employees helping us, and several volunteers, and it's still a big effort to one, to get it built and then maintain it and race it. It's a big effort. So Dave Willock's helping us develop our own propeller program. We've taken some scans of existing propellers, and he's brought some of his designs to us, and then we're also doing some of our own 5-axis CNC milling work in-house. Dave's spending 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off between here and Seattle, and really brings a lot to the table. Big influence, and brings obviously a lot of experience and expertise that we need.
My first impression when I first got here, I saw, you know, how much work Charlie had really put into this himself. What his experience over him and his dad Milt over the last 20, 30 years has all been poured into this. This is the end result. And so it's fun to be a part of that. We've got a lot of things that we kind of on our list. We've incorporated some of those in the boat. Due to, you know, time constraints, we've had to put a few of those on the back burner. So, of course, we don't want to reveal those at the moment, but, you know, there are a lot of innovative things that we think, you know, are going to make us very competitive. I've gotten a lot out of this sport, and so to be able to give something back to it and to try to pay that information forward, I think that's important to me. I think it's important to the history of the sport. It's got a tremendous history. It's really been a neat experience, and excited to be working with the team we have now and Dave, and looking forward to seeing this thing run. It's about the people. You need to have a good driver, you need to have good equipment, the motors need to be pretty good, but it's a special group of people. That's something that's here. I look forward to us all, you know, cracking a bottle of champagne over the boat and getting her wet. You know, we're hoping for some success, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for tuning in, Wiggins Hydroplane Race Shop. Look forward to seeing all you guys out on the water when we're going to be top qualifiers.
Dustin Eccles started right where he left off in qualifying in round 1. The top qualifier from Guntersville set the pace early in the session, and it looked as if the U40 would top the qualifying charts for the second event in a row. But Corey Peabody would not be denied. On his final attempt, the U9 driver set a scorcher of a lap just over 156 miles per hour. Corey picks up the 100 points, extending his lead in the national high point standings, and then he got to hang out a bit with Erica. Sounds like a win-win to me.
Corey, congratulations on setting that fast lap. Just how satisfying is it for you to start the weekend off on the highest note possible and capture those additional 100 points?
It's great. You know, last time we ran here, I blew the boat over in that turn down there, and we completely destroyed the boat. So to come back here this year and be top qualifier, couldn't ask for anything better. I'm happy for my team, happy for Beacon Plumbing, and we look forward to getting into the races.
Now, it took you until your second session in the very last lap to find the advantage over the rest of the field. So what was different for you in that second attempt out?
We tried a different line. We drew it out in the truck, and well, I really went for those lines, and it worked out for us.
Well, Corey, congratulations on this top spot. We look forward to seeing this confidence and effort translate over into the heats.
All right, thank you.
Here are the full results from our qualifying session. Corey Peabody finished on top, but it was Dustin Eccles who held the spot for most of the session and looked like he was going to come out as a top qualifier, but was clipped at the end by Peabody. Peabody's strong racing teammate J. Michael Kelly was third fastest. The local favorite, the U1 Miss Madison racing entry of Dylan Runney, was fourth, but Jamie Nilsson's U11 rounding out the top 5.
There's another player in this chess game of a race here at the Governor's Cup, and that's the course. A lot of river courses have underwater features that introduce low spots or shelves that can cause the boat to spin out or hop out of the water, resulting in drivers losing control. The most notorious one is right here in Madison on the exit of Turn 1. It's been the scene of multiple incidents in the past, and history has shown that the final heat can be won or lost in that first turn. It'll be interesting to see if that history repeats itself, or we'll see a clean final from start to finish today.
Yeah, it's definitely there.
Oh, it's beat me up pretty good through the years.
The hole in turn one's notorious just getting you.
There's some stuff under the water there, and you can't see it from the beach, but when you're out there racing, you can definitely see it. It's about a 3-foot hole that you find it in lane 2 every time.
It's a river, the current's going that way, so every time they cut the course or make a turn, all the water goes down that way. So it goes down that way, and there's a sandbar underneath there, and it just kind of creates a big giant hole, and it'll swallow you up and ruin your day.
You know, I think everyone tells you about it, and you don't necessarily believe them for what exactly it is until you get out there and experience it for yourself.
Previous lap, you'll go through there and get through there nice and smooth, and next lap you go through and you just get swallowed up.
I know it's going to be there. I know it's coming. I know what to expect. So, yeah, you just hope the equipment can survive the weekend here in the Ohio River.
You really need to be thinking ahead when you enter that turn. Make sure your boat's in the right position, and then exiting that turn, there's also the best way I can describe it as rapids. It's pretty rough.
In years past, I've lost lots of parts, cracked sponsons, ripped skid pins out. Felt like I broke my neck a few times. Probably had to get my teeth fixed.
Just another challenge for the race course, and I think it just adds to the ability for the drivers.
Yeah, we're going to give it everything we got.
The drivers sound like they're ready to go, and boats are in the water. Just watch out for the hole in Turn 1. It's about time to go heat racing. Stick around, that's coming up next.
Me.
Everybody's been running really well. Everybody's up their game this year, and I'm right in the mix too. So it's really anybody's win to win right now.
Well, obviously the 9, they're really fast. They've showed they're consistent, and I think that we are equally as fast. We just need some good luck.
Yeah, I got to say it's probably the strong boats and Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody there. He's been fast all year so far. I think he's coming back this year with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder from last year. So I think he's going to be one to beat, but I think we have the boat to do it and definitely the team to do it here.
Me.
No shortage of confidence from the drivers. I love seeing that competitive fire in them, but I'm not surprised. You have to have a lot of courage to climb into one of these H1 hydros. Let's jump into the first heat. Here's Jeff Ayler and Brad Luce with the call.
They're past the bridge. They see the Madison Ford start-finish line. We are now 3, 2, 1, mark. We're racing in H1 Unlimited Heat number 1 here on the Ohio River in Madison, Indiana. Start looked good by my eye, and that was a legal start. Legal start. Heat number 1, H1 Unlimited. Your leader in lane number 1, Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport.
Jamie Nielsen had the best start. He led him across start-finish line, and right now, he's got a full rooster tail. Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport. What a surprise up the backstretch. He's being chased by Dustin Eccles in the U40. Bucket List Racing. There is a good race developing for second place. Keep an eye on J. Michael Kelly in third, but off the top end, still Nielsen. Could we have our first upset of the weekend? This is a doozy if the story holds. Jamie Nielsen is at the top end of the race course. He gets to the exit pin now, and he's just got to come down the front straightaway. He will pick up first place for the U11 Legend Yacht Transport.
Jamie Nielsen, your 5th fastest qualifier of the 5-boat H1 Unlimited.
Kelly is down.
And we got Kelly down, checkered flag waving. Here's your winner of H1 Unlimited Heat number 1. It's Jamie Nielsen in Legend Yacht Transport. Second place will be the Bucket List Racing. We got a battle for third. Running in the home street. Here comes Kelly on the inside, and J. Michael Kelly will get third place. I'm going to give it to Kelly by about 14 feet over Dylan Runney in the Miss Home Street. Jamie Nielsen, your unofficial winner of heat number 1. He won it right at the start, the best start. Lane number 1, shorter way around, textbook driving.
Jamie Nielsen starting off the weekend with a heat win. Jamie, it seemed as though you really took full advantage of that milling period to establish your presence in the front of the pack, and you never looked back as you brought the U11 home to a victory. What was the strategy toward the beginning of that one to project yourself toward the front?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime you can get the inside lane against tough competition like this, it's definitely an advantage. And you know, my U11 Legend Yacht Transport team, we did a lot of practice and testing yesterday to refine those timing marks, and I think you can see it really paid off that heat.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing you back out on the water.
Yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Put the hammer down. H1 Unlimited heat number 2. We are now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're racing. We're calling physically. Dustin Eccles led him across the line in lane number 4 in the bucket list racing. Up above with the drone in turn number 1. Eccles there first, but we look to the inside. Corey Peabody, your leader. In the Beacon Plumbing, J. Michael Kelly second, Runny third, Eccles fourth.
It is strong racing, running 1-2, coming off the corner in lane number 2. It is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, and he's got his teammate J. Michael Kelly sitting in that left side rearview mirror on the inside lane. But Jeff, you don't see the other boats because they are right there with them. And look on the outside, you have got Dustin Eccles making a move on the outside. Very tight at the top end of the race course, Jeff. Anybody's race here.
The start was good for Tana Morissette with H1 Unlimited. Corey Peabody had the lane. He's in lane number 2, leads it. J. Michael Kelly back in second, but we got a battle for third between Dylan Runny and Dustin Eccles. We'll come down to complete lap number 1 of 3. It's Corey Peabody now comfortably in front. Kelly in second. Officially after lap 1, Eccles in third officially, Runny in fourth. Peabody comfortably in front. Kelly in second, the advantage to the buoy row. Eccles now in third, make it 6 boat lengths. Brad loose off the turn. Peabody comfortably in front, but still some deciding to do for second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, that race for third and fourth is a barn burner right there. It is Dylan Runny right now with about a 3 or 4 boat length lead over Dustin Eccles on the outside. You can see the orange boat. All you see is the rooster tail. And look at Dylan Runny. He's got his sights set on J. Michael Kelly. This is still a very, very close boat race as we go underneath the Milton-Madison Bridge. This lap number 2 of 3. Top end of the race course. Corey Peabody's got his teammate off to his left. That's J. Michael Kelly, but he's also got mirrors on the right side with full of boats.
Peabody swung out. Corey Peabody has found some extra voltage, or J. Michael Kelly, excuse me, he's still in the mix. White flag displayed, 2 complete, 1 more to go. Corey Peabody, your leader in the Beacon Plumbing. Now making a 7 boat length advantage over J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny third in Miss Home Street. Dustin Eccles fourth in Bucket List Racing. Back into turn number 1 here on the Wild Bill Cantrell Memorial Racecourse. Peabody, your leader. Kelly still in second. Boy, it's rough off the turn.
Yeah, it's real rough coming off that corner, but they all got through it clean, and now our boats are starting to spread out a little bit. It is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. He's out by a full rooster tail over his teammate, J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. But in the right side rear view mirror, J. Michael Kelly's got a lot of home street blue. He's going to have to drive a big race course because he's going to have to go wider than Corey Peabody is driving. That's going to be a real handicap. See how they come off the corner and how much room JMK has on the inside, and he's got a lot of it, Jeff. Bring him down. The checkered flag flies.
Your top qualifier, your leader underneath the Milton-Madison Bridge, Corey Peabody, eyeing the Madison Ford start-finish line buoy, checkered flag waving. Here's your winner of heat number 2 in H1 Unlimited, Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. J. Michael Kelly will get second in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny made a charge on the back chute on the last lap, but will settle for third.
Corey Peabody continuing his domination in the heats. Corey, from the outside looking in, it looked like a flawless race for you as you led that thing from start to finish despite pressure. Did it feel that way for you from the cockpit?
It never feels like that, but you know, we got out front, and that's where we wanted to stay. And once you can get out front, you can control the race. So the key was to get to the first turn first, get through it, and then you can control the race. That's what we were able to do, so that's why it looked like that. But the reality of it is it's a lot harder to do that than just, you know, say it. But happy with the Beacon Plumbing boat, happy with the Beacon Electric boat, getting a second, and look forward to get the next heat.
Well, Corey, a big congratulations to you and your strong racing team.
All right, thank you.
The first 2 heats are in the books. Congrats to Jamie Nilsson and Corey Peabody for winning those. We're just getting going over here. The 3rd heat is coming up next, and it's only on Speed Sport 1. Things got a little heated up in Heat 3, no pun intended. In the milling period, Dustin Eccles and J. Michael Kelly made contact, trying to navigate by Corey Peabody as the drivers fought for their lanes leading up to the start. Neither driver was very pleased with the other. Let's get their perspectives.
I've been doing this a long time, and I feel like I earned my right to not be bullied. So, yeah, there are just some dicey moves out there.
My spotter told me the 9 cut the course, and so when I came out of the corner, I picked up on him, and we just went right to his outside.
Other guy kind of got blocked in and tried to stick his nose where it didn't belong, and I wasn't going to give my lane up. You know, that was my lane.
Mike had a different angle going at turn 1. He started wider, and he started tightening it up as we came down the front straightaway. And
there's some pretty good bumper boating out there, and, you know, but that's racing.
If he disagreed with it, you know, he could have let the referees make a call later on. Instead, he kind of threw a temper tantrum and drove into us.
I'm sure the fans up there were really excited. Definitely got my blood pressure probably out the roof.
Once things settled down, the race got started and the boats were 4 wide into turn 1. Unfortunately for the U9 of Corey Peabody, a broken drive shaft would cause his heat race to end early. Hopefully the team can get it repaired and back out on the water. In the end, J. Michael Kelly's competitive fire would pay off, and he would take home the Heat 3 win, his 2nd heat win this season. He caught up with Erica after the race.
J. Michael Kelly with the heat win here in Madison. Jay, you said that the boat keeps on getting better and better with each time out, and you and the team are throwing everything at it to keep on improving. Do you think that this win is a result of all the hard work and preparation put in on both ends?
I mean, of course it does. I mean, it just shows the hard work that these guys are putting into it. If it wasn't for them, then we wouldn't be performing. Very lucky to have these guys. Just feels really good to finally, you know, after yesterday's racing, you know, we ran decent, but that heat, I mean, what a world of difference. Just really happy. I really needed that. It feels good. You know, it's real unfortunate for my teammate, but just been on fire this year, and just hate to see that, but they'll get it going. These guys work hard, and they'll get it fixed.
Well, a well-deserved win for you and your team. We look forward to seeing you back out there later.
Thank you very much.
Unfortunately for Corey Peabody and the U9 team, they were unable to make the necessary repairs to the hydro, and he will be unable to compete for the Governor's Cup. Peabody, the current national high point leader, will now focus on the next round in Tri-Cities.
Could be the best start of the weekend. They approach the Madison Ford start-finish line. We're racing in heat number 4 of H1 Unlimited at the Madison Regatta. All 3 there at the line as they work into turn number 1. First to 3 times around, the start was good. It's a triple-decker in turn number 1. They'll fan out. Nielsen in front. Kelly is there.
Kelly is right on his right side, and he's right in the rearview mirror, but there's powder blue and white. Home straight. Look at the triple-decker, Jeff. They are side by side by side, stealing your line, but it was that good. On the outside, Dylan Runney's got some speed in that Miss Madison home straight boat. He's got the lead up the backstretch. He's out by about a boat length and a half. Got Kelly right behind him with the lane position on the inside. Then it's back to Nielsen. Now there's the lane position for Kelly. Where is Dylan Runney? There he is, Jeff.
Miss Madison Racing has woke up with speed in the Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race. Runney driving a dandy on the outside will come down to complete lap number 1 of 3. Runney's best run so far in H1 Unlimited. Now Kelly powers back on the inside. Kelly, your official leader after lap number 1 by 2 boat lengths. Runney in second. Jamie Nielsen remains in third. Final time around for the top 2. Kelly in that rough turn number 1. Wow! He just about lost it. Oh my. He recovered beautifully, but with that, here's Runney.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly just about lost the boat coming out of the corner, and he lost a lot of speed. Runney's been able to close. He's back within half a rooster tail. Incredibly rough ride for J. Michael Kelly in the U8, but he was able to land it. And now he goes underneath the bridge for the last time. This is lap number 3. Jeff Ayler, our hearts just jumped into our throat. He's got it settled back down, but Runny is right with him, Jeff.
Final turn, final lap, Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race, sponsored by Cheryl Lyon Family and Millennium Tools. Here comes Runny. Runny making a charge on the outside. It's going to be a side-by-side battle. Runny takes the lead. Kelly Keller's back. Here is H1 Unlimited Heat number 4. It will go to J. Michael Kelly by 30 feet over Dylan Runny in the Miss Home Street. By my marks, just a little bit early, but I think they'll be good as they pedal that throttle. We are at 12 seconds. They're at the bridge. Now it should be a good start. Heat 5 brought to you by Rivertown Bar and Grill. 3 boats will answer the call. We are racing in heat number 5. Here in H1 Unlimited. We'll call it physically into turn number 1, getting there first. In lane number 1 is Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport. He swung out, hit a roller off the turn. Nielsen, Eccles takes the lead in Bucket List Racing.
Eccles goes by him at the exit pin, and look at the acceleration from Dustin Eccles. Our start, we believe, is under review, but it is Eccles in the lead, and he's opened up water on Jamie Nielsen, but you can see Dylan Runny on the outside in the home street. Dustin Eccles came out of that corner like he was shot out of a cannon, and the bright orange Bucket List Racing is hot.
We will get the white flag to complete. 1 more to go. Eccles' lead is down to 3 boat lengths. Runny has a hard charge on the outside. And now Eccles is slowing and Runny is taking the lead. Eccles had a momentary boat failure. Runny in front, and now Eccles is slowing, going dead in the water. Runny comfortably now out in front.
Hey, back it down. You have a 1-lap penalty. 1-lap penalty. For what? For jumping the gun.
Yes, the checkered flag is waving. Here is your winner out of Rumson, New Jersey, Dylan Runny, driving for the citizens of Madison, Indiana, and Miss Home Street.
Dylan Runny securing his first heat win in his rookie season. Dylan, what a run for you and the team. Just how gratifying is it to not only capture this first heat win just 2 rounds in, but to do so in front of the Madison crowd?
There's something special about these fans here in Madison, and I just think it's very fitting to be able to go do it in front of them. You know, it's a dream come true for me. It's something I've watched on TV and in the movies since I was a little kid, and you just sometimes never think it's going to happen, and you don't think it'll be a reality until it actually happens. So, you know, this Miss Madison team, Home Street Bank team, there's something special, best of the best out there, and they're absolutely giving me a machine to go win with, and now it's up to me, and as a driver, that feels good. I like having the things in my control, and to know that if I go do my job and I'm the best I can possibly be, we'll put ourselves in a good position to win. So
we look forward to seeing this Madison boat out in the final.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good final there, and you know, overcome some adversity to get there, and I think we're going to be in a good spot. So we're ready to challenge for the win and take it home in front of the home fans of Madison.
Look forward to seeing it out there. Good luck, Dylan.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The home fans in Madison that Dylan Runny is referencing have shown up this year, just as they do every time the H1 Unlimited Hydros are around. Now, if you're a Madison resident, you are a part owner of the Miss Madison Racing Team. More on that coming up.
All right, so live from Madison, Indiana for the Madison, Indiana Governors Cup, we are going to go racing today.
I can't.
We're here in Madison, Indiana, getting to know the locals. This is a unique experience because most of the people around me are actually part owners of the Miss Madison Racing Team, yet they may not even be aware of it. In the early 1960s, industrialist Sam DuPont donated his hydroplane to the city of Madison, and then it was then fittingly named the Miss Madison. The team has had a variety of different looks over the years, but regardless of the livery, it has typically found success.
I love it. It is not just a source of pride, but that ownership makes you feel something, you know, bigger than yourself. But the community coming together to pull something off on this scale is what I just get goosebumps on.
Best fans in the world here in Madison. It's where our boat's from. It's where our team's from with Miss Madison here. So really an honor to be part of that community and get to go through the parade last night and meet everybody here.
I really like the parade because the whole town gets into it. I have a ton of fun with the parade. You know, all the kids out there. It's a good time.
I started coming here, and over the years, just seeing a lot of familiar faces, and I've actually made some pretty good friends here in Madison. So, you know, I always look forward to coming and seeing them.
I mean, the people here in Madison are amazing. I mean, they turn out in droves for this. They're very passionate fans. A lot of them have followed the sport a long time, if not their whole lives. There's just so much history here when it comes to the city and the fans themselves. So it's a pretty cool environment.
It's Madison. Say hi. I bet you can't bet where she was conceived.
It's always a good time at the Madison Regatta. Lots of interesting people to see and things to do. A big part of the H1 Unlimited series are the people involved behind the scenes. We're going to highlight one of the many superstars that you rarely see, but plays a big role in these hydros getting into the water.
My name is Jimmy Gilbert. My name is really Jimmy. I was born in South Carolina. It's not James. I am primarily charged with the electrical system and the computer system and obviously the radios. I'd always been real infatuated with, you know, boats on the water. I really had. But powerboats fascinated me. When I retired from NASA in 2001, I've been doing this full time ever since. I was brought in to work on Apollo, brought in 1966. I worked on the onboard computers on both the command module and the lunar module. Now, following that, I worked a little bit on the Skylab project. Then I worked briefly on the shuttle. That work eventually wound down, and I ended up, they assigned me to an engineering slot where I worked on the program that's called X-38. It got canceled before it ever flew. I don't know why, and that's about the time that I retired.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Oh, I watched that, and I was actually off console at the time. I was not one of the main room controllers. I was a backroom controller. In other words, when they would have something go on, he would call the back room and say, "What's going on here? Give me an answer." There was a fellow by the name of Jack Garman who was sitting back there when Neil Armstrong was landing the lunar module, and he had a particular alarm code. Steve Bales called Jack Garman and says, "What's going on here?" And he says, "The computer is running out of time to get done what it needs to do." He says, "Is it critical?" He says, "Well, yes, but we'll go for landing on that particular alarm code." So Bales was the big hero, but it was actually Jack Garman that made the call, the backroom guy. One of the things I'm most proud of is I'm only one of about 70 people who've run 100,000 miles in their life. Think about that. 2,000 miles a year for 50 years. I've now run about 108,500, but I still run every day and running 1,200-1,300 miles a year now. Guys show up, they either stay for one race, or they stay for 20 years. I guess I'm a 20-year guy.
I think it's safe to say that Jimmy Gilbert is a true American. I bet he's got so many great stories to tell from over the years. But for him, it's now all about hydro racing. Gotta love it. All right, it's the moment we've been waiting for. This year's final of the Madison Regatta. The competitors are out on the water, and we're going to pick it up with about a minute left in the milling period before the start. Here's Jeff and Brad with the call.
1 minute period is come and gone, and Brad, right now, each driver hopes their timing marks are perfect. 50 seconds away. I think the front two might be a tick early.
Yeah, I think so too. Jamie Nielsen sitting in lane number 1 in the Legend Yacht Transport. I think he's a little early, but he's got Dylan Runny in the home street right with him, right outside the right side window. They are in lanes 1 and 2. Then lane 3 goes to J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. That's the bright red U8. And on the outside is going to be Dustin Eccles in the U40, the Bucket List Racing. They're at the top end of the race course, Jeff. Still 23 seconds until the start. Let's start our 2023 the Indiana Governor's Cup.
But my timing marks everyone early. You need to breathe at the bridge at 12 seconds. Here comes Eccles. He looks ideal. Morgan Foods, Indiana Governor's Cup Championship, winner take all. It's a 5-lapper. They are coming to the Madison Ford start-finish line. We are racing in the final heat of the Morgan Foods Indiana Governor's Cup Championship at the Madison Regatta. Start was good. Dustin Eccles leads them down into turn number 1 in lane number 4. We got a quadruple decker at the apex off the turn. What a remarkable sight. Ronnie, your leader.
Coming off the corner, Dylan Runny, but he's only got about a half a boat length on J. Michael Kelly. And then on the far outside is Dustin Eccles. 1, 2, 3. They are tied together up the backstretch. You could throw a blanket across the 3 of them as they head up underneath the bridge. And now J. Michael Kelly sticks his nose out just a little bit further as they enter the top end of the race course. All 4 boats at the top end. Jeff Ayler, remember, we're going to go around 5 times, and it's a winner take all.
Runny has the advantage. He's tightened it up on the inside. Spectacular action in the Morgan Foods Indiana Governor's Cup Championship. Kelly, your leader. Runny not giving up on the inside. 1 complete, 4 to go. Kelly in front by a boat length. We got a
and he's blown over.
Dustin Eccles is blown over, and oh my. He's still going, but procedure needs to shut that boat off. We'll see what happens.
They'll shut it down.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh my, the final heat of the winner-take-all Morgan Foods Indiana Governor's Cup Championship has been red flagged due to a spectacular blowover by Dustin Eccles. In the bucket list racing, this race has been red flagged.
The red flag is out for the wicked wreck of the U40. Glad to hear on the radio that he is okay. Check out the view of what Dustin just did. Oh man. Hopefully the H1 crew can get the course ready for action, but most importantly, the fact that Dustin Eccles said he is fine and talking to his crew is the best news out there. The Madison final started with a fantastic 4-wide fight between the drivers to the exit of the first turn. The battle would be on from there, and it was anyone's race to win at that point. J. Michael Kelly had a slight lead over Dylan Runny. Then Dustin Eccles, U40, gets airborne and does a full rotation flip, comes back down, and lands hard on the water. The race would be red flagged immediately. Here's another angle from just above the cockpit. It's never good when you lose sight of the horizon and see only sky. Eccles makes a full flip, and you definitely know that's not good for the boat. Eccles would be okay, but with the time it took to clear the carnage from the water, the time window closed on being able to get restarted, so this race was called official. So here's how we would finish this year's Governor's Cup. The driver with the most points accumulated across the event leading into the final is J. Michael Kelly, so he will be crowned the winner of the Madison Regatta. The U11 of Jamie Nilsson takes second and scores enough points to leave Madison as the new national high point standings leader. Eccles is third, with Runny fourth, and Corey Peabody coming home fifth. Let's go to Erica with our race winner, J. Michael Kelly.
Our Governor's Cup champion, determined by points, J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael, this race breeds chaos given the tight corners, the unforgettable and unforgivable waters, and the hole on the exit of turn 1. How did you manage all of the variables to come out on top today?
I would say a lot of luck. No, but a good race boat. It forgave me when I hit that hole, and there was probably a little bit of luck on there, but this course is definitely challenging, and we survived. It really came down to survival, and yeah. You know, after yesterday, my confidence was kind of down. It just wasn't going the way I had expected, and so today, winning those heat races really boosted my confidence, and in that first heat of the final, running side by side with all those guys and leading before we had the unfortunate incident with the 40 blown over. That was awesome. Just being out front, it was running really good. So it's unfortunate we didn't get to go out for the rerun. But we came away this weekend with the most points, which says a lot for our race team.
I would say so. Congratulations on this Governor's Cup. Go ahead and celebrate with your team.
Yes, thank you. We will be celebrating.
J. Michael Kelly wins the race, but it's Jamie Nilsson who edges over him by the slightest of margins to leave Madison as leader of the national high point standings. Round 1 winner Corey Peabody is now third, ahead of Dustin Eccles. The Miss Madison racing boats are 5th and 6th, with Jimmy King, who did not compete in Madison, currently rounding out the standings.
Jamie Nielsen, our new points leader, leaving Madison. Jamie, for the first time in your H1 career, you sit on top in the points chase. Can you attempt to put into words how you're feeling and what this means?
That's great. I mean, to come back here and race against the competition we've raced against the last two races, to be on top right now is a great feeling. It's a huge testament to this crew. As hard as they've worked to keep this boat running as well as it has for 2 long weekends, especially here, is just outstanding. So can't thank those guys enough, and our sponsor, Legend Yacht Transport, for helping us keep going. It's pretty cool. So a lot of season left, a lot of racing left, but we're going to keep digging.
And it's definitely a testament to all the work that you and your team have put in, but we are now halfway through the season. So where do you evaluate where you're at?
I like where we're at. We're on top. Couldn't ask for anything better leaving the East Coast swing. So now we're headed back west. Some race courses we're really familiar with, and I think we got a little extra left to find some extra speed and give those guys a run for their money.
Well, Jamie, congratulations on this career first. We look forward to seeing you out there the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
The H1 Unlimited Traveling Circus now heads west for the next round in the Tri-Cities area of Washington State. The field will fight it out for the Columbia Cup, one of the bigger events on the series calendar. Be sure to catch it all on Speed Sport 1. Don't miss it. Now let's get one final thought from Erica.
There we have it for our 73rd annual Madison Regatta. It was a weekend full of lots of drama, trials, and tribulations where we saw J. Michael Kelly rise to the occasion and take that top spot determined by points. Another big congratulations to Jamie Nielsen as he tops the H1 Unlimited points for the very first time in his career. It was an incredible weekend to say the least, and we look forward to our next round in the Tri-Cities.
Thanks, Erica. It was a great weekend. I had a blast, and we hope all of you did too. You can catch all the action of the H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes all season long exclusively on Speed Sport 1. Don't miss a single moment of action from the fastest sport on water. For Erica Allreed, Jeff Ayler, and Brad Luce, I'm Ralph Shaheen. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.